There was a video posted on the Korean CZN channel recently, which was not really a true dev talk so much as them going over a bunch of accusations they've had regarding AI usage in their art because of weird looking things or inconsistencies or whatever. So let's just go through it, take a look at all of the stuff. It's up to you whether or not you want to believe them. I think people, like a lot of people are going to say like, oh, it's just like a cover up and they are using AI or whatever, but you could say that for like anything. We're just going to take a look at what they have to say. So starting up, the first one is Maribel here. You can see that the belts that she has are a lot higher here and a lot lower here. And also on the, I guess the like strap on her bra, there's different types of like buckles here. This one's a solid square. This one's just like the outliner or whatever. And the reason for this is really just because the character went through a lot of design changes, and the design changes weren't necessarily reflected on the cards because they said, I think they say this later on, but they have a lot of different artists doing their art. So it's going to lead to various inconsistencies when they keep on changing designs as the game hasn't even released yet. And you can see here the belts are way lower on this one. And it's just a mistake on their QA, basically, not making sure that the arts all align with the most recent design. The multiple artist thing is common. If you look in Epic 7, some of these are hard because some of these are like old and some of these are newer. But like even old artifacts, like this is an old artifact. The art on Uberius Tooth looks pretty much completely different from the art on Sigurd Scythe. There's a couple of really bad offenders of this, like Champions Trophy. Champions Trophy and Circus Fantasia came out at like the exact same time, and these are two completely different art styles. I think one of my favorite ones is a Ranger artifact down here somewhere. This one, Seal of Capture, is probably one of my favorite artifact arts. And you'll also notice that a lot of the artifact arts look completely different from the way the characters look in-game in Epic 7. Like, Spatio-Temporal Fan it does not look like how Lua actually looks like. So having different art styles is a pretty common thing. That was another thing they got some flack over, just having so many different art styles between their characters and their just like between the characters and the card arts, which is something I noticed too. Like I think Rin is a character that stands out a lot, and Beryl, but that's just the result of having different artists. So back to the video. You can see they're talking about like how the character got redesigned. Top left is the original Maribel design, where the belt is a lot lower. But let's move on to the next one. So the next one is Amir, where she has different sleeves. This one's a regular, like just a standard sleeve, and this one's a sleeve with the metallic effect on it. And this is pretty much the same thing. It's just like you can see her design changing, and they wanted to have the metallic effect on it, but they never they just didn't properly update it. Here's her like her arms without the whole metallic effect on it. So it's just another like QA issue. A lot of these are really just issues where they didn't properly make sure that the arts reflect the updated designs. So here is Luke, and this one, it's because for his design, this one there, the shoulder strap is going the wrong way, plus the sword is missing from his back. And this is because they changed his design a little bit. You can see this was the phases that his designs went through. And in the first two, the shoulder strap was going from, I guess from our perspective, top right to bottom left, and they swapped it to go from top left to bottom right, which is why the card art has the old one. And the reason the sword is missing is because they just felt like it was like taking up space in the image. You can see they try to show some of like the layers here for all of the stuff that they did for the art. Yeah, remove the sword and emphasize the aura expression, but it ends up looking, it just looks like something's missing. So they're going to add the sword back. And then here is Magna. You can see the amount of cleavage that she's showing is a lot less in here. It's like slightly more covered up. Not a lot less, but it's like slightly more covered up, like around here, I would say. And then the design is also a little bit different. And this is, again, just they changed her design at some point. You can see her old art here, and this is her newer one. And same thing here, you can see on this art. This is the old one, and then this is the new one. I think they show another, like, do they show a close-up? Nope. they do here. So yeah, you can definitely see like this is the card art with her old design, and this is the one with the new one. And then here they just never updated it, so it's just a mistake, a complete mistake on their end, and they will be correcting it, of course. So then here is Nia. This was one of the ones that got a lot of attention, which is just here's the close up of her hand. I guess I'll put the image on the right too. This just has like you can see there's 5 fingers, and given that the thumb isn't showing in this position, it means that she has 6 fingers because it should only be 4 showing on the front for the right one, and then on the left, the guitar is flipped the wrong way. You can see here it's white on top, black on the bottom, and then the way that this is going, it's just flipped. Like she's holding, it should be going this way, not this way. He mentioned that he was aware of the guitar being flipped, but they'll fix that like later. So this one, it just looks like she's just holding it the wrong way. It's a consistent guitar design, but she's holding it the wrong way. And then for this, it's because this I noticed this myself in game because I unlocked her prism module, but you can see the animation here, it moves up and down, and it's just an issue of them not hiding the layer with when she's because she's holding the guitar in a different position. And if you look really closely here, or they showed the close up here, so if you look really closely here, you can actually see like the extra finger behind. So you can literally see like even in the base image that people were using, that it's just 2 things overlapping. You can see like an extra finger popping out here and one popping out here. It's just the 2 layers stacking on top of each other. This is like the most reasonable one, I would say. Like you can tell this just from looking at it. If you saw the full animation, which you can see here. And then next up is Kayron. Again, this is just design inconsistencies. He's missing like a strap here. Here, his like I don't even know what they're talking about here, but I think this is like slightly higher or something. Anyways, it's just design inconsistencies. This is them showing a lot of the layers for Kayron stuff. And then here, I honestly didn't even like really recognize what these complaints were. I think I don't know what complaint number 3 is. Something about the hands. And then complaint 1 and 2, I did not know what this was until they showed the actual thing. I think people were complaining that the legs looked unnatural, but it looked fine to me because it's a dress, so it starts spreading out around like the navel, and the proportions looked okay to me. I did not notice that at all. I'm not sure what the hand thing is either. So I have no idea what's going on here. But here they show I forgot both of their names, but you can see like this is their rough outline for how the body looks under the dress and then the skirt for both of them. And then here, this is just an awkward hand position. I think she's like, okay, I've held things like this before actually, and it's not comfortable. I hold my phone like this when I play rhythm games actually, now that I think about it. So yeah, this is how I hold my phone when I play rhythm games, and it definitely looks very awkward from that angle. No, I keep my index finger in front, but the bottom part is how I hold my phone. So that's a natural tablet holding position. I hold my stuff like that. And this is them showing some of the layers here. And then I don't know what the complaint is. I think this one is because he isn't using the sight, but they say he's blasting something like point blank range, so you don't need a sight when you see the thing right in front of you, and that they'll fix it, I guess. This is a different hand position thing where they didn't like the way that she was holding it, so they swapped it. Yeah, some of these complaints I've literally never seen before. This is just a change, I guess. They changed the way that her necklace looks. This one used to be 4, now it's 5, and I think the very top is slightly different. This one's like got a little metal part here, this one doesn't. And they will be updating that as well. As you can hear, now it's updated to have 5, and yeah. And then there is Yuki. So Yuki was on the website before, and now she isn't. And they removed her because she's not a launch character. Like, we haven't seen her in the first 3 chapters, so it makes sense. And there's a bit of inconsistencies with her weapons here, like this and this are one sword, though this one's missing the 2 little marks here, over here, while this one and this one is looks like almost a different sword, or is this just the angles are weird? These might be the same sword, but it's just different like designs between the swords, and it's because the character isn't released. You can see already like how many like redesigns a lot of these characters are going through. Wherever Luke was, I'm not finding him, but it's just because the character hasn't been like fully released yet, so they'll finalize the design eventually. And here is just a bunch of the layers they did for her art and stuff. Same thing with Calipe. It's just a bit of inconsistencies on some of the little details on her weapons. And then here are a bunch of the layers for her stuff. This is a very funny image of a bald Calipe. And then here is Tressa. I don't know what this complaint was. The Tressa buckle was too much. They're losing me. I don't... Oh, here it is. There's these two like rings here. It's a lot less like... These are like out, and these are just like... Yeah, it's just different designs on the jacket. It's just... These changes are all the same thing. It's just a design change. And then here is some like progression of her summon art. This is the summon art. And then here we have this. There's a very awkward looking like finger position. Like her pinky is like in, I guess. Yeah. They just said it looks weird, so they'll change that. And then here is some of the stuff for her art. I don't know what CZZ is doing here. I don't know if they're being accused of stealing from CZZ. I honestly don't even understand what any of this is. If anybody knows, because I don't. It's something about AI, and here they're showing some of the breakdown concepts. And then here is more stuff for... Oh, let's go back a little bit. Okay, we're just... Oh, it was 2 different ones. Okay, here is... I forgot her name, but you can see a bunch of different breakdown concepts for her here. And then here is Rin. You can see 3 different like concepts for her here as well. Plus the one that they finished on, a lot of the layers for that as well. And here's something where they actually... You can see he's saying he was worried about if it would spark controversy and suspicion. So here they are talking about where they actually did use AI. They used AI when generating certain concepts for the cards, just in the sense that they had an idea and they just used AI to give them a sort of reference to take a look at and see, like, this is kind of what I want it to look like. It's a little bit hard to see, but this is the concept card that they had. It's just some basic like card description, or this is the card description. This is like what it does and everything. This here is the actual like AI generated image, and you can see it doesn't really look that similar to the final concept. Like the general idea of like a self-replicating like germ/disease is there, but this compared to this, I would say it looks pretty different. They just kind of used it as just to like visualize a concept. Whether or not you think that's okay, that is up to you, but they did admit to using AI for generating concepts. And then here is, ooh, this is showing them all of the different card arts that are in the game, which there is a lot. Yeah. And then here we get a nice little montage of a lot of different arts, which we will go through. I like this one a lot. think that's it. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the whole thing. The last section here is just the finger issue, which a lot of people, if you've been around long enough, you'll know what the finger issue is. You can find some info on that on the... Actually, give me a second. Okay, so here is the finger issue. You can see this character here. This is in the background of the lobby. It's one of like the people on the monitors, and they're just... I'm gonna translate this to English. They're just talking about like the way she's like moving her hand and how she's holding it in that like certain hand gesture and holding it the whole time. And then for this one, you can see just there's like this here, I guess, and then also I guess this. Let's translate this too. And then this here as well. Plus, I guess these. And that. And then, okay. I don't know. The first and second ones, they say. So this one and this one, I guess. These translations aren't necessarily the greatest. And then there's also this one, where this, and I think this one they were complaining that it was being held the entire time. As you can see, this is like over like a lot of screenshots. And then just some, since it started and ended, yeah. And then there's this one, where this doesn't play actually, but it's just in this frame. I don't know how long it lasts. But that is the finger issue, and they apologized for it. They said, yeah, we'll make sure that this sort of like issue doesn't pop up again. So yeah, that's the whole talk. It's really just them talking about the AI accusations. It's a lot of issues in their Q&A, just making sure that any redesigns have had all of their cards updated as well, is what I feel like. They did actually go out of their way to admit using the AI for generating concepts, which you could say that they're doing that just to like hide how much they're using it, but I'd say like whatever. They could have just not admitted that as well, and no one would have said anything. A lot of these issues really do just feel like basic art issues. Like the Neo one, like because I had her Prism module, that was something that was visible to me. I could tell that was just an issue with the layers. And then a lot of these are just like, it makes sense that characters go through a lot of design changes and the cards aren't necessarily being updated. So it's not a full dev talk, but it's just addressing all of those AI accusations plus a 2-minute apology about the finger issue at the end.